Hello, and welcome. I'm Valgan. I do tutorial videos for Udon things in VRChat. I do Udon assets for VRChat as well. I do some standalone Unity development, and I make these things. We've been working on a combat system for VRChat, basically a generic team game building system with guns and different stuff. Everyone, how are you today? Pretty good, honestly. Though I did just get back from some grocery shopping that took slightly longer than expected. So there's a bit of a rush in the kitchen here, but yeah, everything's doing pretty good. Yeah, so this will be my last stream for a little over a week. I should be able to stream next Thursday, but if not, it'll have to be the Tuesday after. I'm actually going on a bit of a trip here pretty shortly to visit my partner up in Vancouver, and that's a bit of a trip to go up and do stuff like that. So yeah, so that'll be exciting, interesting, looking forward to it. But I don't have a laptop or stuff like that, so I can't exactly be streaming when I'm there. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun. But for now, let's see what progress we can get on the generic role system. So let's see, I put down a note of something that I wanted to get done. Team population time. Yes. So let's look at how our team assignment is handled right now. That's through the team assignment, the team manager here. Hello. Yes, this is the person who I will be visiting in Vancouver. Welcome. But yeah, so what we have right now is we have different ways of declaring how many will show up here and there. Hey, that's yes, that is you, dear. So our detective will have an exact count of 1. Innocent will have an exact count, or fill all of the remaining by fill empty. I think fill remaining will be a better word for that, actually. So fill remaining. There we go. Phil Spencer. But there, I was thinking about this, and the way I have it set up here, it can actually run into a bit of an issue with trying to map out to the exact game style that I was hoping to kind of build out. So for a lot of what I'm doing here, I'm basing a lot of the capabilities that this system has off of existing instances in VRChat, like Ghost, Murder, Among Us, things like that. But also pretty heavily on a very modded version of Trouble in Terrorist Town in Gmod that I'm pretty familiar with. And what I had done for this was, there's always 2 traders. Okay, let's assign that that way. But that's not entirely true. There aren't 2 trader roles that are always available. There are 2 trader team members always available. And what I don't have here is rules on team populations. My favorite Gmod game up. Yeah. I had pretty bad internet growing up, so I actually didn't play a lot of it growing up, but I've watched pretty much every instance of the Yogscast playing it, like to this day. I just don't have a whole lot of people to play that kind of stuff with. I'm a very social gamer, but in a way that I don't like playing with random online lobbies. Escalba, hi. Hello, welcome. So basically what I'm saying is we need rules for how each team gets assigned. Because right now, we're just assigning teams based off of player role types, which works pretty well until actually, maybe we don't need to change team population types. Maybe we can have an additional assignment type where instead of percent chance, there's percent chance replace. Because let's say we have we have our normal trader role. Let's actually go in here. So the trader team has the trader role, but let's say we want a what's a let's just do, I don't know, what's a good alternative trader role type? Let's just say imposter, whatever. Let's say we always have two traders, but there is a chance that one of them can be a difference role, being like an imposter or something like that. So we want a Udon graph versus normal Udon Sharp script. This is all going to be with Udon Sharp because there's a lot of custom editor tooling that needs to be built for a lot of this stuff. How are you handling assigning the role, like the chance to get a role? Spirit Rose, welcome. So role assignment actually is pretty interesting how I've got this set up. Let's go to base game system. So when we call start game checks to see if you're the owner and runs assigned player roles. And this basically does two things. It gets all of the players that are in the lobby and then runs puts a player count into the get IDs for game from the team manager. And the team manager basically makes three different lists. Lists of roles that need to have an exact count, list of roles that are a percent chance, and a fill empty role section. We're probably going to have a fourth one here for the additional one that I was mentioning earlier. Excuse me. And basically, we go through each one. It's like, okay, if this role is an exact count, we put it in the exact count list. Then we loop through the exact count ones and handle the assignments there. We loop through the percent chance and roll the percent chance. And then we do the the fill empty rolls. Fill remaining rolls, that's it. Fill remaining. Okay, I'll fix the naming there. Fill remaining rolls. Okay. Yeah, and fill remaining rolls just get randomized equally between all of them. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to have another value in here that instead of percent chance, we're going to have percent chance replace. So this is probably going to break a few things because I have rearranged it a bit. Actually, I want fill remaining to be the first one. And I can handle any of the... Yeah, okay. Why would anyone ever use Udon graph? Oh, it really depends on the kind of work that someone does. If someone is more of a artist, a visual learner, or wants to get off the ground with a basic project, then Udon graph is perfectly fine for that. It doesn't really have the performance issues that it used to. Still some when your graph starts getting pretty big. But if that's the kind of tooling that you work with a lot easier, then by all means, it is a perfectly viable tool. Not one that I personally use outside of making tutorial videos for it, which maybe that calls into question how good I am at making tutorials for it. But all of the stuff that I do is basically Udon Sharp converted into Udon Graph, and then I invert that for the videos, which is Udon graph, and then we remake it in Udon chart. Okay, so I want to, okay, we actually have a crap ton of files open that I don't actually care about at the moment. So I'm going to split right. Okay, so I'm gonna have this visible up here, and I'm gonna scroll down for role visibility. We're gonna have fill remaining, percent chance roles, and then percent chance replace roles. Case percent chance replace. And we'll just do percent chance replace. Add I. So after we do that, we're going to loop through it down here. So for chance replace dot count. Not that many VRC specific dev tutorial YouTubers around right now. Yeah, I believe that. I can't do Udon graph things. I can't do Udon graph. Things get too spaghetti too fast. Yeah, that's fair. It is a very different organizational thing. Probably the biggest visual difference, besides it being a graph editor, is that code is very vertical. You have a lot, like a thing that does a thing that does a thing over and over, each stacked vertically, whereas graphs are mostly horizontal with a bit of verticality to it. So it can get pretty wacky pretty fast. Excuse me. Okay. So percent chance replace implies that we are replacing an existing role with it after an assignment. So we need to be able to declare what that role is. So we're going to go to our team manager helper over here. And we have response, exact count, percent chance. And then we'll have a public string percent chance replace team name. Nope, not team. Role. Let's just call that replace role. So it's going to be a bit more legible. I want to have these kind of toggled on and off visibility wise, depending on what assignment type is currently set to. And that's something I can do in a bit, but don't really have to worry about that right now. Excuse me. So replace role needs to have some backing data for it on the team manager. Would that be the, here we go, generated data. Randomized fill roles. Okay, we need the modifiable stuff here. So, oh, it's over here. Game role data. Maybe I could instead do IDs. Actually, all right. Let's look at how assignments handle. So we are filling in these arrays, which are roles to assign is an int array. Okay, yeah. So we want this backing data to be ints. So let's go up here. We'll do public int array. Percent chance replace role IDs. So we're gonna handle this here. Let's take int. That's role ID. We do replace role. So that's a string. So we need to get an int from game role IDs. Excuse me. Alright, int replace role index. So this will be game role IDs, replace the index of wait, no. That's not what I want. Each role for that. Yeah, okay. We'll back that up here. Some of these names aren't very good. What are role teams? Okay, that's the team index of apps. How do you feel about the fact of Roblox? That's a lot of numbers. Players with roughly 2 months of development. Well, Roblox has a very large active player base and very robust developer tools that people can be pretty easy to work forward with. It really depends on what you're trying to build out and whether or not that's something that you really want to jump onto. For example, Roblox having a game on the platform called Steal a Brain Rot is really popular because Roblox is really popular. As a result of that, like Steal a Brain Rot, the game you just mentioned with 2 months of development, actually has about like 20 years of development because it's on an existing platform with like existing tools and things like that. And sure, you can rabbit hole that all you want, but just to say it, like that is a very like developer friendly environment for making those kind of things. Like it's easy to make good content on Roblox, well, whatever you consider to be good. And since it's on Roblox, people are gonna remember it for being Roblox, not really for being Steal a Brain Rot, the game. So, like, it all depends if you're trying to, like, I don't know. I've found comparison to be the death of enjoyment. So I don't do a whole lot of that. It's like, oh, I'm not nearly as popular as, I don't know, who's someone that's popular. Nicki Minaj. I don't know. Maybe they're not even popular anymore. I don't actually know. But, like, I don't need to be for what I'm doing. Would it also be difficult to get out a decent game that performs on Roblox because of how many people that are releasing it? Yeah, a lot of it's having the right thing at the right moment, and another lot of it is luck. So take that as you will. Okay, so percent chance for IDs. Role visibility is set from the helper up here. So we need a secondary loop because role names is already set up there. So we're gonna have to loop here after that. Okay, so let's grab this list. Come on, move. There we go. Now, we want to loop back through these now that we have all of the team names in. Do you know a good do-tune package that is supported in Udon? Not an existing one, no. There are, I'm sure that there is probably one that's been made. But that's the kind of thing that a lot of times I've just made a bespoke one for whatever project I was on. It may in fact just be a good idea to make a do-tween alternative for that kind of stuff in Udon and have that be a public package. I would definitely be able to do it. I'm not sure if I'm the best person to do that, especially given that that's something that a lot of people would want to use as a utility, and given a lot of factors right now, all of the assets that I'm releasing would be paid. So take that as you will. But maybe, well, okay. I don't know how many people would jump onto a paid do-tween, but in Udon. It would probably be something more along the lines of VRF Assist, where it will get a lot of use if it's free and will be forgotten if it's not. That's kind of what I've seen with a lot of utility stuff in Udon. So you just kind of have to figure out what market is there for what you're doing. Alright, so I basically need to do this loop, but again, explicitly for getting the index of role names. Alright, for each team, for each team dot roles. Now we're going to add int index equals, and we're going to go from role names index of role dot where is this? Okay, that data asset there. Okay, so percent chance replace. So I have that on the team manager, I have that on the helper. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do that here as well. I'm not sure that should be on the helper. Or maybe it should. I'm not great at sloping lerping. I find it annoying to get just right. Yeah, especially like one of the big things about the do-tween package is that you can just kind of just say do a thing and then it starts, and when it's done it stops, and that's really nice. And anything more than that is just kind of, yeah, it's really annoying to build out yourself. It's the kind of thing that if someone does make a package like that, it would be great. Like, I would love it. There's probably something like that built into Dr. Blackrat's new UI system that they released recently. You might have luck looking into it there, but I don't know for certain whether or not that package has it. So I will not give any promises. All right. So we need a So okay, here's what's going through my mind right now. The way that I'm handling teams and roles is kind of split in between two different places right now. So teams and roles exist here with generic, like, these are the innocence roles and these are the traitor roles. This is the name, this is the color, this is their visibility. However, there's a lot more features on the team manager itself, which has like, oh, for the detective, these are their spawns, this is their assignment rule. I think it might make more sense to put their assignment rules on the assets instead of doing them here. Because then more of these non-changing settings will be on the asset there. Because my idea here was any of the settings that you should be able to change in world will be on this helper. And realistically, there's not a whole lot of reasons why someone would want to change, like, oh, innocent is fill remaining. Detective is exact count. Like, we don't want there to be a chance to be a detective role. There's not really a reason to change that in world for this game mode. Like, you can build out a game mode and then have that be in your world. But things like the transforms where this role spawns, that needs to be accessible by a existing component. You can't do that on a data asset like a scriptable object. So I think I've convinced myself. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch this over a little bit. So team manager helper. We're going to adjust some of this around. So I'm actually going to steal all of that right there. Assignment. Okay. Game rules. So we can go down here and see we're having those the arrows down there. Let's grab these three and we'll move them up here. We want this right below role visibility. Okay. So now we can go and stick this here. Roll sun. Yep. So sun is at 12. We'll move this here. And then let's look at our team manager. Oh, right here. We can move our assignment types up here. So just rename this to world parameters. Role IDs, role names, there we go. So right now the only world related parameter is where they actually spawn. Okay. So with that change made, let's go ahead and actually do the change replace role IDs management. So percent chance replace role IDs. I actually have this down here, so it's right next to where I need it. Slow. So this needs role names index of role dot replace role, and then we just pump in index right there. All right, all those changes we just made were to do that. All right, so now we want a percent chance change handling down here. So for each of these, we basically want to find a random roll and handle it that way. So if that counts, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now that we have all the actual roles assigned, so this gets our insert index up to our roll count. And that basically just means all of the roles that we possibly can have been assigned, but we want a percent chance to replace something. So we want our imposter to have a 50% chance to replace one traitor role, for example. So we'll loop through these. So chance. Okay, so this is grabbing. Alright, so this is the index of the roles that we got. So first, we want to make sure that the role that we're actually trying to replace exists and isn't -1. If percent chance replace role IDs index equals -1, continue. And I'll actually store that here. So int replace ID equals, and then there we go. So I feel like mix is percent chance for those. Pretty sure this is role ID. I mean, I think role IDs are their index, so take that as you will. I know for the TTT and the high pixel line, percent chance of a person beginning and getting the role increase. I cannot get percent from getting it to try and balance to get the role. Yeah, I don't think this system is going to have any kind of analytics built into it. At least not for a initial release. There's a lot of things that you can do with that, like you can have a random event that gives you your least used role, or your least used gun, or stuff like that. And there's a lot of really cool things you can do with those kind of player analytics. But I think for the start here, I think we can probably go without immediately having that on. What I can do, however, is toss that into the feature requests, which I do in fact look at. Um, um, role selection influenced by analytics. Getting a little random. I imagine that would be pretty complicated. Yeah. It would definitely be something that I don't currently know how to implement. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing here, I do know how to implement just kind of right off the bat, and that's why I'm jumping into a lot of this. And there's certainly a lot of things that could be improved, but I'm doing this in the way that I know how to. Okay, so we got a chance roll here. If it's greater than % chances index, continue. So now, I think before that, we should verify that the roll even exists. So, at least, okay, the role exists in the, where is it? In the roles to assign list. Int existing index equals array dot index of roles to assign replace ID. If existing index is -1, continue. All right. If the role that we're trying to replace doesn't exist at all, we skip it. If the role that we're trying to replace isn't in the current list, we skip it. Then we roll our chance to see if we can actually replace it, and if not, we skip it. But if so, we will do roles to assign existing indexed equal index, I guess. I think that makes the most sense. Immediately off the bat, I'm not seeing anything wrong with this, actually. We'll probably run into something, but let's actually head into Unity here and actually update a bunch of our settings for this. I changed a bunch of stuff positional wise, so let's go ahead and fix everything. Alright, detective. We'll have role visibility all. Assignment type exact count 1. Innocent. Will not use a custom color. Role visibility none. Assignment type fill remaining. Mike. Mike is an innocent with a % chance to replace a innocent. So there's just a chance that one innocent can turn into a Mike. Now for traders will have a exact count of 2 be visible to their team. Imposters, they will have the % chance to replace 50 and replace a trader. I should fix this one as well. So Fill remaining. Okay, so let's go to our team manager here. Detective, innocent, traitor. We'll have another one for imposter. Actually, we'll move Mike up one. And they just spawn there. All right. The annoying part about this now is that the way I have the networking handled, actually I should be able to test this with bots. Let's see here. Two, three, 4, 5. All right. Let's just make a parent for this. Let's just NPCs. Reset that. Stick them here. We'll go to our team manager. Or is it the game system? How do we want to handle that? Oh, we want the game lobby. The game lobby is what handles whether or not there's NPCs in it. Okay, so if I hit play, we should be able to load in and have some role assignments happen. We do have some errors, however. Instance and also instance object. And then this is failing because this is returned a fail. Replace ID. Percent chance to replace roles. I guess we just have to make sure that the okay. So this this value here will be -1 if there is no replace role set. Which, for example, most of our roles aren't replacing another role. So in that case, I think we should be fine. I don't feel like that's right, though. No, something's wrong. Percent chance to replace role IDs is never actually being set. Okay. Don't know how I missed that one. All right, back to play mode. Step on up. Does the lobby just not currently have handling for NPCs? If so, that should be pretty easy to fix. Alright, so it inits, grabs all the NPCs, puts them in the entities list. All entities dict. All entities is the thing used for join left. Add player to lobby. This puts them into lobby player IDs. Okay. I think in that case, yeah, lobby player IDs will be how do I want? Okay, so we're lobby player IDs. So this is a player's ID. So if you're like the first player in the instance, you are number 1, for example. The way I'm handling, where is it? Here, init. These data lists and the dictionaries here are -I for that. I think yeah, I think if we're having our NPCs here, we should very explicitly have them be armory NPCs. Okay, they are. So I'll do NPC. Then our NPC here, it should have some kind of ID associated with it. I don't want to worry about that right now. Otherwise we won't get anything done and we'll just be jumping around too much. So in that case, let's go ahead and look at the actual team manager assignment for this. Base game system, entities and lobby. Actually, maybe this would be a pretty easy setup. NPC IDs equals new data list. And just do -I. And then at the end we'll do lobby IDs. The lobby IDs right now is something that I needed to swap before because Okay, so lobby player IDs is an int array that maxes out at 100 for just players that can be in a lobby. So I think it probably makes sense not to explicitly put the NPCs in there. And just kind of always assert that they are part of the lobby. I think that makes sense. Okay, so when we are doing get entities in lobby, we'll do players dot add range NPC entities. Does that not work? Oh, NPC entities is an actual array, not a data list. Okay, we'll just have a backing private data list, NPC entity list. Just need data list. And here we'll just add in. Oops, no, that's not where I want that. I want that in init. There we go. Add NPC. Alright, add range there. That probably is all of the handling that we need for that. Let's find out to see if that's true at all. I guess the really easy way to figure out if that's true is just to actually have a sign for it. So let's go into our demo, armory demo. I'm going to steal this sign that I made. Oops. This sign. Then we run back to our scenes folder. Go to our game mode test. Alright, team manager. No, we want game system? No, we want lobby. Game lobby, there we are. Alright, so when I hit play, this should have a bunch of names in this field. Alright, it does not have all those names in the field. Why would that be? Alright, let's look at this. Game lobby populates the display list. Display list. Update list. Get names in lobby. Okay. So we just need to loop over the NPCs after this. Okay. Actually, we don't even need to use that list. We can actually just for loop the NPC entities dot length. Because you can't use a for each loop for data lists. And it will be names dot add NPC dot game object dot name. I guess that works. Up to that, I tried that at first. Yeah, it certainly slows down a few things. It just means that you have a lot more fluff to your for loops. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright, play. Now, let's see if we have a bunch of fellas on this list. Yay! Okay, that does work. If I come in here, yep. Alright, let's hit start game. Alright, so they do have assigned role IDs and team IDs. That is working. But, oh, they don't have references to their entity menu on their prefab. Okay. Info canvas, yep. Save, close that. I have a bad habit of assuming that it's the same as C# and everyone gets mad at me. Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error. That is for certain. So good. Thanks. Speaking of trial and error, we're definitely running into some. Alright, let's see here. Let's put you over here. You over here. You over here. You over here. Alright, so we are both traders. And no one is Mike. So I guess to see if any of this works, we just have to do it a few times. We just have to see if any assigned IDs are not 0, 1, or 3. Alright, so this is 1, 1, 2, 0, 3. Okay, so 2, if I drag this over here, 2 is Mike. Mike is explicitly set up to replace an existing innocent role. But we don't have a random imposter in this run. So I guess we can just keep hitting play. Alright. Play 1, 1, 0, 2, 3. We should be getting a 4 at some point. Let's make it a 99% chance. Oh, imposter still set to exact count. That's not what we want. We want percent chance replace. Okay, and that should replace a trader with the percent chance of 99. So we should have at least one. Alright, so that was just, I had the options wrong here. Visible to team. Like, Alright, so if I walk up and hit go, we should have 0, 0, 0. This isn't right. That's not right at all. Because one is very explicitly the detective. All the others are innocents. So, is this just displaying incorrectly? I'm back. Had a quick meeting and it popped out too. How are things progressing here? Pretty good, actually. We have split off some of the role assignment stuff back into the scriptable object storage thing here, and have rules for extra role assignments. So let's say we always want to have 2 traders, so we have an exact count of 2 traders, but we want a 50% chance of one of those traders being a different role. So right now I could come up with anything, so I just put imposter. It's just like the alternative special role that you can be. So that's set to percent chance replace, and that should replace a existing trader role. This has worked so far for Mike, who similarly has been set up to do that. But my UI appears to just be incorrect here. because I'm an innocent locally. Yeah, and everything's saying 0 in that field. Okay, yeah, alright. So it's right down here in the Udon sim, the client sim Udon helper. But it's not correct up in my view here. So innocent is role ID of 1. That's the detective with the role ID of 0. This would be a trader with a role ID of... Wait, no. 1 would be innocent, so they're another innocent. They're another innocent. Role ID 4. Okay, I think 4 is 1, 2, 3... no. 4. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be the imposter. So that seems to be working. I just don't know why I've broken the UI display for those values. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. Maybe it'll just work fine now. This is the hope. Because right now they are 0 and -1. In here, press start game. Yeah, okay, they're all back to normal. How incredibly odd. Alright, luckily, I'm an imposter. We have a mic. And we have a trader. Presumably, the others are innocents. Yeah. Okay. So, full role assignment features are basically completely implemented now. Huh. Okay. So now we can take this role assignment system that we've built out and actually make a game that utilizes it. Yeah, okay. Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Just tooling wise, I would really like to I would really like to have some of this stuff be a bit nicer, where instead of typing in the role name you want, you can select from a drop-down. Excuse me. Obviously, here you would want it to be text, because this is where you type it. But when we're looking at our team manager for the game roles here, like typing out detective, Mike, innocent, and all that stuff can just be a little annoying with some of it. I think that's fine for now. I don't think we should worry about that too handily. But it'll be nice in the future when there's additional features like you have a shop and certain items are available only to a specific role. You don't want to type the word trader everywhere and have it misspelled in one of those spots. You just want to have it be drop-down selectable. Excuse me. So, let's go ahead and go back to the actual game thing. So, close out of a lot of this stuff. Alright, so our base game system. Elapse game time there. Start game, end game. So let's go to our where is it? Game system. TDM game system. I want to actually work on the TTT one at the moment, because actually, Yeah, I want to work on the TTT one for now because there's a lot of features that we have to build out to get that working. And that'll actually force us to make a lot of stuff for this. So let's go to our game system. Call this game system TTT. And this will inherit, obviously, from base game system. We have to click back into Unity, then back into Rider for everything to actually like start compiling so that we can get our autofill in Rider again. I don't like it. It's annoying. Actually, we're still not getting our autofill in Rider. What's going on? Rider, have you broken again with a new update? Come on. There we go. Alright. Indexing complete. Alright, I swear it gets slower every time I use it. Alright, game system TTT inherits from base game system. So we have a few things here. Start game, end game. Alright, so the big one is we need to constantly check to see if everyone is dead. So we'll have an update loop that switch statements our game state. Alright, so instead of doing default that, we'll just do default debug log warning state is not implemented on GameObject.name. Alright. So TTT has a max timer, so public float round time round duration equals let's just do 60 seconds for testing. Let's do 120 for testing because I am not convinced that I can get all my testing done in 1 minute. All right. Mid round. If game elapsed time is greater than or equal to round duration, end game. And obviously we don't want to just hard cut the game eventually. We're going to have a startup and a shutdown, but we basically want a sentinel maintenance thing that's just like checks to see whether or not the game should be over because everyone on one team is dead. How do we want to do that? Is what we care about having only one team remaining, or do we care about one team, a specific team having loss? That's the kind of thing I'd like to modularize out a bit as well into a bit more tooling so people can make quote-unquote their own game modes with this. And I think that will be really cool once we actually have that. But this is the kind of exercise I find really interesting because it lets us come up with exactly how we want to end up doing this. What do you want to happen? Yeah, okay. So since I'm basing this specific game mode off of TTT, basically, if the traitors kill all the innocents, they win. If the innocents kill all the traitors, they win. So, but I don't know if I want to add handling for jesters and stuff like that at the moment. I think for now, just sticking with the innocents and traitor sides for now is fine. So let's do a... Oh yeah, this needs to be serialized field. Let's have a private string array. Team name. How do I name this without it just being an entire sentence? Because basically, I want this variable to say, this team wins if last remaining. And then I can put in the name of any of the teams in here. Maybe I'll just do this. It's fine, whatever. Avoid final team winner. You know, good enough. Final team winner. Naming things is the main job of a programmer, unfortunately. Check for game completion. So we want to loop through all of the players that are currently in the game. Which fortunately is just how the lobby system works. Where is our lobby system? That is over here for game lobby. Okay, so we'll return, and here we'll do check for game completion. All right, we'll have a data dictionary, team counts, remaining team counts. Then we'll for each the final team winner. Main team counts not add. Nope. Alright. Now, we want to loop through the players that are currently in the lobby. So we don't want to do get names in lobby, we want to get entities in lobby. We don't want to be doing this all the time. A lot of this will have it so these values get set once it goes into the goes out of the lobby or unset states. But for now, we'll just be running that all the time, which isn't ideal. But again, this is not the final version of this. We just kind of want the skeleton of what is happening here. Lobby entities lobby for entities.count, and from there we can do a armory entity equals entities I reference. Yeah, this isn't going to be the cleanest code at the moment, and it will certainly not be the most performant. So do not expect what I'm doing right now to be the final version of this. So we're looping through all of these to check that our names. Actually, I don't think a dictionary is a good idea for that. No, actually, a dictionary is probably fine for now. If remaining team counts dot contains or contains key entity dot team ID. Oh god, yeah, okay, this is gonna be very not performant, but again, this is not what we're... We want to get the team name for an ID. Public string, get team name, int team ID. Names team ID. I know I have this public up here, but this is largely just for setting a bunch of data. We want to be doing everything through custom getters anyway. String team name equals team manager dot get team name team ID. Nope, I don't like this. Okay, we'll do a int array, remaining team counts. What do we call this? Final team winner. So we'll do final team winners, index of team name. If that equals -1, we'll just do continue, skip out on it, we don't actually care. Otherwise, we will do remaining team counts, final team index, ++. No, that's not how we want to do this, because right now we're just checking everyone that's in the lobby. We're gonna have to check their health state. And the moment that we find another player of another team that is alive, we want to break. We want to quit. I need some water. Make sure you're drinking water plenty, people. It is toasty in most places in the world right now. Hydration. Alright, we're gonna set remaining team name. And that's what we're gonna care about. Alright, so final team winner. Yes. Found one due to a package called Nuko Tween, the documentation in Japanese. I'm sure. Not working with game objects, just need to work with UI rec transform. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it's good to hear that there's actually a package out there for it. Okay. All right. Let's just see here. We have a bool for whether or not we have found a remaining team, any at all. And we have a string here storing the remaining team name. We grab all the current entities that are in the lobby from the team manager, or from the lobby. We loop through them and we grab the entity for each one. We get the name of the team that they currently have. And we see whether or not final team winners index. Okay, wait, I want to return that. Actually, no. If I want to do that. This is going to be a bit wonky and probably won't work great, but it'll get us a start. Alright, we get the index of the team that they're on within our final team winners. If that team is not in final team winners, then we don't care. We continue on. Otherwise, if we have not found a remaining team, we check that as true, and we store our remaining team name here, which is the team name we currently have. Otherwise, if found remaining team is true, and remaining team does not equal team name, so if there's a team that exists that isn't the team on this player here, then return false, because that means there's more than one team remaining. And we only want to do this if the entity is alive, so if entity equals I want to just have like a return bool for this. Public bool is active in game. So we'll switch the states there. States. False, false, false. True, true. Or I guess I can shorten this up a bit. Alright. So if the player state is unset, lobby, or dead, they are not active in the current game. If they are alive or respawning, they are active in the game. So so if they are not active in the game, continue on. We don't want to check their state or their team or anything. Alright, so let's go ahead to our game system here once it compiles. There we go. We'll toss on game system TTT. Final team winners, we'll put in Innocent and Traitor. Round duration 120. We want to actually do something, so. Alright, so if we do that, we want end the game. Alright, I just need to get like a gun in here. Let's just toss down a pistol. And this pistol does 1,000 damage. Okay, sure. Okay, that'll let us start the game and see what happens. Pull up the console, clear it. Everyone gets in, starts game. Alright. I'm locally innocent. Let's do bonk. 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 Alright, so roll ID 4. Alright, so these two on the end, if I kill both of them, that should end the game. Oh, it's pre-round, right? Mid-round. Whoops. Right, okay. So, we're gonna be bootstrapping some stuff here. Alright, start game. This is basically doing set player roles per round. We're gonna do public void set game state round. We send custom event delayed seconds, name of set game state round 1. What was the actual error we got? Oh, the NPC does not have handling for a null teleport point. If target equals null, else. Amogus. True. Welcome. That. Transform position. Otherwise, we'll do transform set position rotation. The vector 3 0 and Quaternion identity. Sorry, while you on stream, can you explain how to do text or if you need supported by VRC? If you can't, or know of a good video resource to watch. Explain what do you mean by text? You mean just like a label that exists in the scene? As in text input field. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'll whip up a canvas here. So if you're familiar at all with an input field, you probably know what a canvas is. But you'll need a world space canvas. You'll need it to be not on the UI layer. You'll need it to be either on the default layer or the walkthrough layer, whether or not you want them to walk through it. But you can pretty safely just go ahead and make a input field. Once you have that, feel free to set the navigation to none, otherwise you might have some likeness. Is the arrows an issue? I don't follow, sorry. Is the errors? Is the errors on the canvas an issue? I guess I'm not entirely sure what errors you might be running into for that. Yeah, I don't really know any errors you might be coming across. But in VR chat, they have their own You saw it on mine just now. Do you know what the error was? If I just right click on the canvas and do UI input field, either VRChat or TextMesh Pro. Oh, yellows are warnings, reds are errors. Sorry. Yeah, anything that's yellow is fine. Especially here, it just means that this is a world space canvas, and you should assign a camera to make it work correctly. VRChat automatically does that. You don't have to worry about that. The only thing is you need to have it on either the walkthrough layer or the default layer, preferably. If you leave it on the UI layer, you'll only ever be able to interact with it while your menu is open, which is probably not what you want. The other thing is, on your canvas, you need to put a VRC UI shape component onto it. And that's what VRChat uses to say that you can actually interact with this canvas. Other than that, your input field, I like the TextMesh Pro one, just have a on-end edit, probably, is what you'd want. Well, you could do on-end edit or on-value change, depending on what you're doing. On-end edit is probably what you want. But just put an Udon Sharp behavior in here and call a function on it that's like, I don't know, on input field complete. And then your script has a reference to a TextMesh Pro input field, and you just read its current value, and you can work from there. Yeah, so it's pretty exposed for the amount of things that you can do with it. So that does fortunately work pretty well for us. Long and short, I'm trying to make a character sheet for VRTT. Oh, VR Tabletop RPG. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that would be really easy. Yeah, I think that would honestly work perfectly well. Alright, game system. Lobby. Start. Pre-round. Lobby. Well, it immediately booted me out. So I think I need to actually have some logging or what's going on here. Log. Game elapse. Speed. Yeah. VRChat doesn't let you use C# scripts, but you can use an Udon Sharp behavior, which isn't a mono behavior. It's like its own thing. So feel free to make use of those. Like that's what I'm doing personally. And you can just call functions on that. You can't do like a lot of the drop-down stuff that you can get from those button UIs. So basically just when you're selecting the callback thing, you can click send custom event, and then you type in the name of the event that you're doing. Yeah. So I'm working in a base game system here, which I have inheriting from net armory behavior, which inherits from base armory behavior, which inherits from an Udon Sharp behavior. So if you're writing anything in VRChat, it's going to be an Udon Sharp behavior instead of a mono behavior. And you just work with the restrictions you have there. Alright, last time see that. In game, check for game completion. Debug, log. Game completion, check, passed. All right. Start game. Pre-round. Mid-round. All right. Nothing has immediately happened. I'm innocent. So let's move everyone around here. But this is a trader over here. This is a trader. This is just a random innocent. This is just a random innocent. So hypothetically, if both of these two die, well, the game should be ending. What is happening here? Alright, so we're in mid-round. Elapsed game time greater than round duration. Yeah, so... check for game completion. We get all the entities that are in the lobby. Team winners index. I wish we had proper breakpoints for this kind of stuff, but log team name not found in winners index winners list. Remaining team name exists at the same time as team name. Return false. Ooh, realized how much I was shrimping my back. Team Innocence not found on winners list. Team Traders not found on winners list. Oh, is this... Oh, they're plural. Oh my god. See, that's why I want to have drop-downs in the future for this stuff. Instead of just knowing that you spelled it correctly. Alright. Team remaining traders exists at the same time as innocents. Alright, good. Alright, so... we just move all of these ones over here. So we're both trader team. Game completion check passed. Okay. All right. That successfully ended the game when only one of the remaining teams existed. Okay. That is not a cheap check that I've set up for this, so it'll have to be changed a bit. In fact, quite substantially. But, yeah. Okay. So the general logic there is functioning. One, this is a lot of stuff that needs to be optimized. Two, this is relying on the players in the lobby not changing, which right now, adding and removing players from the lobby happens at any time. So, excuse me, when someone walks out of that lobby box, they just aren't in the game anymore, as far as this is concerned. So we may have to fix that. But yeah, that checks out. Those handlings will be that should be handled with a proper callback system for like on game states changed, which I think I can probably handle right now. Leaving mid-game might suck too. Might need on-player leave. So I do have handling for all of that. So if I look at the game lobby, yeah, we have full handling for on-player join, on-player left, and that all works. But that adds and removes players from Udon Sharp, or is it the visual scripting? Again, sorry. Oh, okay. So Udon Graph is the base thing that VRChat uses for stuff, but most users, most complicated things are built within Udon Sharp. Feel free to use the visual scripting one, Udon Graph, if you would like. If you're more used to visual creation, like I think I'm not too familiar with how Resonite ends up working, but if it's much more visual scripting, then Udon Graph may be right at home for you. I'm personally very familiar with Udon Sharp, and that's the one that I tend to use in my projects, so it's entirely up to preference. Just while someone... Yeah. What? I'll be... Okay, yeah. So I'm just using a collider here. Or wait, no, this is a button that calls this. What am I doing for... game lobby region. This is what I'm doing. So on player trigger, enter, on player trigger, exit. To do, change to not be networked, have the owner observe. Yeah, that probably makes more sense. But that is a not today thing. In fact, we're pretty much coming up right on the end here. How many scripts are you currently at? Oh, for this project? Ugh. Let's find out. There will probably be some optimization to this, but if we're just thinking raw C# scripts that are in like even editor ones, let's look at this. I have 34 different C# files for handling this. Yeah. Yeah, I have a few scripts built. So, a lot of this is just kind of handling for building out some stuff. There's a lot of things that are going to be very circumstantial and inherit from other things. That's the thing. I'm trying to make this as modular as possible, so more things should be able to do more things. If that makes any sense. Like, for example, we don't have a object in the scene that represents a team. We have an object that represents all of the teams and all of the roles in backing data here. And then all these fancy editors just get turned into just arrays that you do ID lookups in. Yeah, so you can pick and choose. Yeah. There we go. So yeah, right now, game system TTT isn't very trouble in Terrace Town. It's just who's the remaining team. So that's one of the things that I think might be good to set up as a default behavior in the base game system. Just as a drop-down selection for like, like team elimination, and just have that work out. Yeah, I think this all actually works quite well. Well, let's have a sanity check. Let's just delete the NPCs. We'll go over to our game lobby. Actually, we don't need to delete the NPCs. We can move them out of the way. We can go to our game lobby and clear out this reference. Actually, I think this manually gets... Yeah, okay, that's a find object array. Alright. Yeah, we'll delete the NPCs. And we will launch 4 clients as our last thing we do here today. This may be a bug. Alright, let's get this booted up. Doc. I wonder why there's a... Okay, it was this one that had... Is that it? Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, so we all look identical because we're all the same, but... Alright, so if I go over here, I'm a traitor. If I go over here, I'm the imposter. If I go over here, I'm the detective. If I go over here, I am Mike. Alright, so, well, let's just shoot all the others. Well, that looks like it did nothing. Which is a good sign, as always. Did we get any errors from that? We've not gotten any errors. Yeah, these are all separate. Well, well, oh well, problem for another day. Speaking of another day, I mentioned at the start of the stream, this is actually going to be my last stream for a little over a week here. I'll be heading out to Vancouver to visit someone special, and that'll be great. And unfortunately, that means that I will not exactly be streaming on either this Thursday or next Tuesday. I should be back to streaming next Thursday. What's the most VRC desktop views you've had open at once? I think I usually top out at 4. Anything? Oh, I guess we hit the timeout. Oh well, this is. But no Valgame for more than a week. Well, maybe not for you, but all right. But yeah, I'll make a formal post in the Discord server that I won't be streaming for the next week or so. But yeah, even though it didn't work here in game, I'm sure we can figure that out pretty easily. What went wrong? For example, we didn't really see any health bars, but we did see nameplates, so there's probably something up there. But yeah, all right. With that, I think we'll see everyone next time in a week or so. Nice work today, Elson. Yeah, thank you. All right. Where's the button? Hello. Yeah. So I'll be heading out and looking forward to seeing y'all. Take care and bye bye.